Alright, so in this video we're going to look at some problem solving questions. So these are almost always going to be word problems. So they can be tricky though, and so we'll go through it, and I'll try to read the question twice. And that a lot of times it's hard to follow in a video, but still valuable in seeing how we would want to set all these up. Okay, so the first question, we have 5 of these total. It says it's 3 p.m. Okay, so a lot of times it's valuable to write this out as we're reading it. Okay, so it's 3 p.m. I will be home in 3/4 of an hour. What time will it be when I get home? Okay, so 3/4 of an hour. All right, so if you see 3/4 of an hour and you instantly know how many minutes that is, great, this is an easy problem for you. But if not, then we want to work on how do we solve that. So 3/4 of an hour. So 3/4 equals what over 60 minutes, right? That's how you would set that up. Then we cross multiply, right? 4x equals 180. Divide each side by 4. Yeah. X equals 45 minutes. 3/4 of an hour is 45 minutes, right? And then that means I will be getting home at 3:45. Okay, so that's the first one. Squeaky board today. Okay. Second question. Okay, so these rate questions are popular problem-solving type questions. So I go 50 miles. Again, writing it down as I hear it, at a rate of 60 miles per hour. So I went 50 miles at 60 miles per hour. How long did it take to drive the 50 miles? Okay, so when you see 50 miles, that's distance. 60 miles per hour, that's rate. And then they're asking us, how long did it take? Time. We know we are working with distance equals rate times time. This will show up. Okay, and then we're just going to plug in and solve this, right? So the distance, 50, equals the rate, 60, times time. What is time? I don't know, right? And then we solve it. So we just divide each side by 60. So you get t by itself. Divide each side by 60. T equals 50 over 60, right? And so that's going to be 50 minutes. Okay, that's how you solve that one. Pretty simple, right? We know it's 50 minutes because we nicely have 60 at the bottom, 60 minutes in an hour, so we don't have to go and figure out what 50 over 60 equals in an hour. Okay. Sometimes they'll do something like this where they're basically like wording out an algebraic expression. Okay. So on this one, it says, I'm going to read it first and then we're going to show how to do it. So you have a little time to think in your own mind how you would do this. So you start with variable x, then subtract 12, then multiply the results by 2, then square that result. And then they're going to give you 4 options in terms of what does that expression look like. Okay. So it's pretty simple. You just got to write it out as you read it. Start with variable x. X. Okay. Subtract 12. Most people get this part right. This is the next one they might mess up. Then multiply the result by 2. Okay, so when I hear that, I'm going to put parentheses around it. Multiply it by 2. We're good to go. Then square that result. Squared. That's it. 2 parentheses x minus 12 squared. There's your answer. Okay, working overtime. So this could easily show up. Okay, so this question is going to say we have a person who gets paid $12 an hour. They get paid time and a half for overtime. and they work 50 hours in a week, so that's 10 hours of overtime, right? Okay, so $12 an hour to start with. Okay, now on the overtime hours, we're gonna get paid 18, right? 12 times 1.5 is 18. Okay, so for the last 10 hours, we're gonna get paid 18. The first 40 hours, 12, right? So 40 times 12 equals 480. And then we have 10 extra hours times 18 is 180. Everybody still with me, hopefully, right? Pretty straightforward. That totals up our 50 hours, and we add these two together, and this person makes $660 for the week. Okay. One more. These are all the kind of things you'll face in the problem solving aspect. Okay, this question says it's a 40 question test and the test is 60 minutes. I've answered 25 questions in the first 30 minutes. How many questions per minute do I have to average for the rest of the test? Finish it exactly 60 minutes. Okay, not too hard, but people can get thrown off here. So we have a 40 question test, 60 minutes. Okay, that's what we start with. 40 question test, 60 minutes. I've answered 25 questions. So that means there's 15 questions left, right? I just subtracted 40 and 25, 15 questions left. And I've taken up 30 minutes so far, right? So 60 minus 30 is 30, okay. So I got 30 minutes left, 15 questions. Okay, and they wanted to know how many minutes per question. Okay, so I just want to make sure I put this 30 over 15 equals 2 minutes per question. Okay, the only real way that you see people make a mistake here is either they just see the numbers, they get confused and just guess, or they just set it up wrong. And instead of 30 over 15, they put 15 over 30, right? Which equals 0.5. And then they say 30 seconds per question, because 0.5 is half a minute, right? Right, but here the 15 is the questions, right? And the 30 is the minutes, right? So anyway, so that's question. Anyway, it's minutes per question, and so because of that, the answer is 2 minutes per question.